Hi guys, Samantha here. In today's video, we're going to go over Disney World Fastpasses, what they are, when you book them, how you book them, how many. We're going to go over all the basic details of what is a Walt Disney World Fastpass. If you are new here, welcome to my channel, Sam's Fairy Tale Life. We discuss Disney travel and my planning experience for my Disney World vacation later this year. If you've been here before, welcome back. So let's get started. We're going to go over the basics of what is a FastPass. So the first question would be, what is it? And a Walt Disney World Fastpass is an advanced reservation for a ride, a show, or a meet and greet with a 1 hour window to show up. So it could be from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. You get a 1 hour window to show up for your advanced reservation. The next would be how many. Each person on your reservation gets up to 3 advanced fast passes. And I say each person because not everybody has to ride the same 3 rides. So like if mom wants to take the younger kid on It's a Small World while dad takes the older one on, Space Mountain, you can kind of do that and split up, and you can do them around the same time, but you don't all have to do the exact same rides. And then the where, which is sometimes something people aren't really aware of. So all of your fast passes have to be made within the same park. So even if you have purchased the park hopper option for your tickets, you cannot make one fast pass in Magic Kingdom for the morning and then use the other 2 for Hollywood Studios that night. They all have to be made within the same park. So then when you book them. So there are 2 different windows for when advanced fast pass booking opens up. You have for guests staying on Disney property, it opens up 60 days in advance at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So 60 days before you check in, you can make FastPass reservations for the duration of your trip, up to 10 days. Even though your last day there is technically more than 60 days, if you're staying on property, they give you up to 10 days of advanced reservations. Whereas if you're staying off property, the other booking window is 30 days from each day. So that means if you're going for 5 days and you have 5 days worth of park tickets and you want to make advanced reservations, you will have to get up at 7 a.m. 5 days in a row to make your fast passes. It's each day, 30 days out from each day. Whereas if you're on property, it's 60 days out for the duration of your stay. And then the how you'll book them. So you will book them with your My Disney Experience app or on the Disney World website, logged into your account. You will have to make sure everything is linked to your Disney Experience, your park tickets, your hotel stay. You have to make sure before that 60-day window that everything is linked. Otherwise, you won't be able to make advanced reservations if you haven't purchased park tickets yet. So then here's just some extra stuff to keep in mind with fast passes. So when booking your fast passes, something to note is that your time windows cannot overlap. So if you are in Magic Kingdom and you have a fast pass for Peter Pan's flight at 9 a.m., that means you have from 9 to 10 to use that fast pass, and you cannot book your second advanced fast pass until 10 a.m. And then the same thing from 10 to 11, and then your third one will be made at 11. There is one little loophole to that, and that's with your third FastPass. So once you've used your 3 advanced FastPasses, you can continue making one FastPass reservation at a time for the remainder of the day. So you get to Magic Kingdom, you use your 3 FastPasses first thing in the morning, 9, 10, and 11 for the mountains, for Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and Space Mountain. As soon as you scan into the FastPass line for your third ride, if you do it at the beginning of your window, like so your window is from 10 to 12 for Space Mountain, and you scan in at, exactly 11 o'clock. That means is while you're walking in line to get up to the front, you can book another FastPass for 11:15. And then, you get off Space Mountain, you go to your next reservation at 11:15 for Dumbo, and then as soon as you scan into that, you can make your next reservation for another ride at 11:30, and so on and so on. So it's kind of a little bit of a loophole in the overlapping time window, is once you've scanned into that third ride, you can continue to book one FastPass at a time while you're in the park for the remainder of the day that FastPasses are available. And if you're in the park, the way you would do it is the app on your phone. You would use that. Or if you happen to be nearby, there are a few kiosks throughout the park for booking FastPasses. Now, I wouldn't bother running all around the park to try and find these kiosks, because that would kind of eat up your valuable time. But if you happen to be near one and want to save your phone battery, then I would definitely consider using one of the kiosks. And then the next thing to note when making your advanced FastPass reservations are 3 of the 4 major parks in Disney World have what they call a tier system for their rides, meaning they have rides that are considered tier 1, which are usually the really sought after attractions, and then tier 2. And what that means is when you're making your advanced reservation with your 3 FastPasses in advance, you can only pick one ride from tier 1, and the other 2 have to be from tier 2. So the 3 parks that have a tier system in place are Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom. And as of right now, in April of 2019, this is the current tier system for each of those parks. Now, obviously, once Galaxy's Edge opens to the full extent and they eventually implement FastPasses for those rides, the tier system will most likely change in Hollywood Studios, but until then, this is the current tier system. At Hollywood Studios, your 3 tier 1 rides are Alien Swirling Saucers, Slinky Dog Dash, and Toy Story Mania. So again, what that means is you can only pick one of those 3 rides in advance. So you could do Slinky Dog Dash and then the Indiana Jones stunt show, and then Rock and Roller Coaster. And then once you use those 3 in advance, go ahead and get a FastPass for Toy Story Mania if there's one available. You are allowed to do that after the advanced 3, but in advance you can only pick one from tier 1. So then in Epcot, you have Frozen Ever After, Soarin', Test Track, the Character Spot, and Illuminations. Those are all your tier 1s in Epcot. So again, that means you can only pick one from that list, and then the other 2 need to be from tier 2. And then in Animal Kingdom, your 2 tier 1 rides are Flight of Passage and Navi River Journey. So again, that means you can only pick one of the 2 Pandora rides for your advanced FastPass. So obviously, Flight of Passage is the one that's more sought after. But if you can't get that one, then I would say definitely still just get one for Navi River Journey and then rope drop Flight of Passage. All right, so I think that's it when it comes to FastPasses. So again, you don't have to book 3 in advance. That is something I feel like people tend to forget. If there's only one ride on your must ride list, then you only need to book 1 in advance. Most people choose to do the 3, but strategy wise, you do have to remember that the windows can't overlap. So for a whole hour, regardless of the time you get on the ride, you cannot book another FastPass for that, for within that hour. So even if you have a 9 a.m. FastPass, if you scan in at 9 a.m., you have 50 minutes by the time you get off that ride until your next FastPass. So definitely keep that in consideration. Maybe spread them out a little bit so you have time to wait in line for another ride in between. Or, you can get that 9 a.m. FastPass, but maybe don't scan into the ride until 9:55 and use that time beforehand to ride something. But if you only make 1 in advance, once you've used that 1 in the park, you can then continue to just book 1 after the next for the remainder of the day that way. So, it's totally up to you how you want to play it, but do remember that you will have time that they can't overlap. So maybe you use that opportunity in between to take some pictures, use a restroom, eat a snack, or find something nearby with a short wait, whether it's a character meet and greet or one of the faster moving lines, or just somewhere to sit down, and take in the Disney magic. And that's it. So just remember, you can FastPass character meet and greets. You can FastPass meeting Ariel in her grotto, or you can FastPass the character spot in Epcot, which has multiple characters where you just get in one line and you go from one character to the next. So that is an option too, like if you're traveling with young ones or just kids in general who aren't super into rides, that is an option that you can FastPass meet and greets. If you have a young one who is just obsessed with a certain character, you can take that into consideration, as well as shows. I have never used a FastPass for a show. Back the last time I went, that wasn't a choice. It was just FastPasses for rides. To my understanding, you are able, in most cases, to get in even just 5 minutes earlier, or you have a designated section that you sit in. I have heard that the FastPass seats for Indiana Jones are really good seats. So if that's something that, you're traveling with young ones who are into those movies, or you watch those movies growing up, that is maybe a show to consider FastPassing if you wanted to switch it up from a ride. Because that is definitely a show that I recommend seeing. It's like a classic at Hollywood Studios. So that's it. If you have any questions about FastPasses, I'd be happy to answer them. You can leave that down below and I'll respond and answer. If you have any suggestions for future videos, kind of leave that down below as well. And remember to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any future videos. And remember to come follow me on Instagram, where I kind of keep you guys updated on my channel and Disney and all that stuff. That's it. So remember to like and share the video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.